The latest NBA feud between Patrick Beverley and Trae Young has been quite a spectacle within the past couple of days. And where it all started when Trae Young said this comment in response to Patrick Beverley answering a question on X or Twitter and why NBA All-Stars give little to no effort in the All-Star game. Overall saying that big stars take the game for granted, which doesn't seem to be false from a fan perspective, as it seems like the game has turned into another three-point contest during the All-Star weekend, increasing redundancy and lacking true entertainment. Patrick Beverley didn't really like Young's passive response and say that Young hasn't done anything and is not in the position to respond to him, let alone speak on it. That he has been in the playoffs every year for his first 7 years compared to Trae's 3 during that span, despite being a role player. Young, however, pushed back on Bev with a response of his own by putting his averages during the Eastern Conference Finals, which seemed to be solid numbers for the league guy, while stating that Beverley hasn't won anything and poked fun on Beverley's unforgettable 2022 play-in win against the Clippers, where he was overjoyed with emotion and his team clinched a playoff spot on the scorer's table, where he continued his celebration courtside. Beverley, triggered by Trae's response, doubled down and stated that Young hasn't won anything, and is confused on why he feels like he can't be criticized, as players like Westbrook and LeBron have been their whole career. Beverley acknowledged that yes, Trae was the fastest to 12,000 points and 4,000 assists. However, also the player that gets scored on the most, referring that as an empty stat. There's no telling how far this feud would go, but for now, they will have a 1v1 showdown on NBA 2K22, and where I'll use prideful Pat Bev against Trae Young. The stage is set to 21, and it seems like Trae puts the clamps on Pat Bev before a shot is forced up that he misses. However, shows up his defensive prowess on the other end. Young puts his moves to the test, as he does a cross move before sinking a floater. Into the game, I'm struggling to find Beverley's jumper, which isn't much of a surprise to me, so I decided to look for easier attempts near the basket, as Beverley closes in on Trae's lead. Young, however, seems to turn to ice Trae as he goes on a hot streak with made baskets, showing his offensive bag both inside and from beyond the arc. As Pat Bev steps into a two-point jumper, I try to see if a comeback is attainable, in which I find out quite soon that it isn't, as Trae grabs the rebound and seals the deal with a two-point jumper, ultimately winning the battle 22-11. Now, you may be wondering, whose side are you on? And honestly, I don't have one. Yes, one player might be more skillful than the other, but they both did something that a majority of aspiring hoopers can't do, and that's make the NBA. To make it against these odds and play to the levels that they did is amazing in itself. And although entertaining, I don't think they should be at each other's necks like that. Well, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Until next time, with Subconscious saying, peace.